Well, how are we doing, gentlemen? We have, I, as I can see, we have uh, Peter, Liam, Flems. I would assume, and that, my darlings, is the chat box that needs to be refurbished. Let's get it that way. That way. Okay. I'm sorry. I sometimes gotta fuck this up somehow. Always. Okay. Hello. We have, yes, Flems. Very good. And Peter. Okay. Wonderful. First off, a shout out to my patron, Flems. I'm glad to see you today in this live stream. Okay, and that chat box needs to go somewhere else, but that I'm truly sorry I have to do this on the fly, but I just realized the background is of the wrong color in relation to the okay, you know what, I really don't give a damn. At this point, it's visible, can be read without too much trouble, I would hope. Okay, that should go. Right. Okay. Anyway, how are you, my darling viewers? I hope you are doing absolutely fantastic. At this point, I would like to remind you to check all the links in the description box below. You will find a special offer on Patreon. You'll find the link to Patreon. You'll find PayPal. You'll find playlists. You'll get Flem's Life is Good. Excellent. Anyway, you'll find the links to Patreon, PayPal, playlists. Then you've got my email address, and also the invitation links to the Discord servers that I actually happen to have. You should go check that out. And as always, very, very big thank you once again to Flems for being a patron. So it's all kinds of fancy stuff is to come there on Patreon. Just when you're done watching this stream afterwards, just head there, check it out. Okay, so what do I have for you tonight? HIV, AIDS, and LGBTQ plus community. It's no secret that excuse me. It back in that day, in the worst days of the pandemic, the HIV/AIDS pandemic in the 80s, or when it all started, it was called the gay disease, gay related immunodepressive syndrome, gay cancer, gay disease, etc. The gay cancer came from the certain types of opportunistic types of cancer that the AIDS stage patients tend to get, like such as Kaposi's sarcoma, which is incredibly rare and typically occurs if your immune system is severely compromised. For example, and there is still lack of social care, understanding, caring in terms of, and there's a stigma, still a stigma when it comes to people living with HIV and AIDS. AIDS is the final stages. For example, one person we've encountered on this channel as a subject died of AIDS or complications of AIDS, and that would be Freddie Mercury. I have 3 live streams about Freddie. With one, I had a wonderful guest. Mr. Super Ghost UK was my guest then, and if you've been hanging around my channel long enough, you've seen him in my side chats. Okay. So it's lack of really legislation, care that causes the issue of seeing the HIV something that would typically be thought of as a disease that gays have. It is common, more common, way much more common for a gay man to have HIV than a cis straight male or female, and women are also more likely to have to get infected at some point. Statistics show that in 2015 about 1.2 million people lived in 2015. 1.2 million, and this is roughly the same now. And this would be in the US, and there 40,000 new infections were diagnosed in 2015 alone, and that was a 19% decrease, or that was 19% less than 10 years earlier. But the sad statistics is that there's about 2% of gay and bi men in the US as per census of 2013, and in 2013 gay and bisexual men are 55% of those 1.2 million who live with HIV infection in the United States. So, and which would mean that at this rate, if this goes on long enough, 1 in every 10 sorry, 1 in every 6 white cis straight gay and bi man will be infected, and Latino or Hispanic background uh, men, gay and bi men, or what did I write? Uh, Latino and black men who have sex with other men, have the similar rates of 1 in every 4 and 1 in every 2. Eventually, at this pace, black gay and bi men will. Okay, interesting. If I'll be right back. Hey, how does it sound now? How's the echo? Is Flems? I can also see 2 Hades. Oh, come on. That, by the way, might be the issue. Is there still an echo? Better. Okay. There was sounds fine. Okay, because due to some mysterious, hitherto unknown reasons, I had 2 microphones in the mixer. The hello. Small lady. I almost forgot our small friends. Okay, I was muted. Sorry. Okay, so uh, yes, would that be better now? I would surely hope so. Uh-huh. There we are. Okay, I had my microphone muted, which isn't something new on this channel. Those of you who have been following my channel long enough are, of course, aware that I have audio issues every here and then, but hey, what would Hades Corner be without audio issues, echo, muted mics, etc., etc. So anyway, we have. I almost forgot these two little fellas that my regular viewers are used to. It's Stefan. There we go. Hello. And and this is Bertil, for those who do not know. This is he's my resident Moomin forefather. Sorry, and those of you who have been following my channel for long enough know I love my soundboard. I just love. Got that one there. I got when I lose my track of thoughts. Yeah. And when potential debaters run the other way. Moomin Hog. Yes, exactly. So, where were we? Okay, so at the rate the HIV is spreading amongst LGBT plus people is alarming. So basically, if this rate goes on long enough in the US, alone, the rate or the rate of having of HIV is one in two of gay and bi men of color, and 1 in 4 of gay and bi Hispanic men. And in many areas, transgender women have 49 times the odds of having HIV compared to the general populace. Okay, and where did this exactly, or how did this come about? Where did HIV come from? It's estimated that what is now HIV-1, the HIV-1 group M was the one that is the one that gave rise to the pandemic after something called zoonosis happened in early 20th century in Central Africa. Many researchers say due to bushmeat practice. It came from chimpanzee variant of simian immunodeficiency virus, or SIV, Charlie Papa Zulu, CPZ, started circulating in the 1920s, at least by latest in the 1920s. Leopoldville, Belgian Congo, which is now modern day Kinshasa. There had been between 1930s and 1950s, there had been several small outbreaks of pneumocystic pneumonia in northwestern Europe, especially affecting prematurely born children who were born prematurely. These were likely due to infected glass syringes, which they use here and again, and then needles. And this pneumocystic pneumonia is important that it's closely related to AIDS, or it's an HIV related disease. From a preserved blood sample, a Congoan man was confirmed to be the first known case of human occurrence of HIV. This man's blood was preserved when he died in 1959. So this would have been 20 years before they started seeing the IV drug users start falling ill in New York City, and there was a Haitian shipping clerk who fell ill and died from this pneumocystic pneumonia, which again is closely related to AIDS. And this would have been in June 1959, which would then be another 20 years. It's Peter. It's not that much older, because what we've been taught in school for who knows how long, and in the media, that it's been this pandemic that we have now is something that is instilled into our heads. Hey, it started in or around 1980 when some fags got sick and got AIDS. That's the basically the short story of the matter that we've been told. But as I said earlier, it can be traced back to modern day Central Africa, to what is now, in part at least, modern day Kinshasa in Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. I think it's a Kinshasa, Congo, in 1920s. So we know it's been at least that long. It's been I'm not sure what it's called, but they know at which. Yeah, there's a long latency when someone. Yeah, Liam. There's a long latency when someone is infectious but not symptomatic. Exactly. There's a there could be many years of latency but they know by now they know, and they've known for a while, how bacteria and viruses mutate, and by observing the HIV virus, the researchers know the mutation rate, and they can trace back the different virus strains of HIV, and then they can trace the roots that they know that a lot came from Haiti. And it's curious that around the same time, and even a bit earlier than they started, those facts in New York got sick in or around 1980, and those junkies are not really talked about. But we've had Europeans, Western Europeans, die of what is now known as AIDS well before the first cases in New York City, where it all then exploded. Yeah. Then there's another main variant is HIV-2, but HIV-2 is found mainly in Central Western Africa, and HIV-1 is the most virulent of the types. It was in the 60s when is thought to have transferred from a Suti Mangabi in Guinea-Bissau there, and it's been that age. And as I said, the scientists know how fast, and in what way they can the virus mutates, and then can then bring back or trace it back. And it's as I mentioned, Haiti or other Caribbean islands came through there to the US in the 60s. There's HIV type 1 group M. And this how did it end up in Haiti? Because many Haitians were at the time, at least, were working in Congo, in the Belgian Congo and that area, in Kinshasa or Leopoldville, and that area, and Guinea-Bissau, etc. were working there and brought it back to the Caribbeans. And when the Congo got independent, the British Empire fell and stuff, they came to US and then brought it with them. Pizza says, I remember the news reports at the time weren't very concerned. It's just a gay thing. Well, you can, I guess in hindsight, you can just go and tell them to fuck off, because they couldn't have been more wrong. Okay. Excuse me, I have to check something. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, let's. Flems saying the same. Flems, I remember the same. I was born in late 80s, so I can't really remember what was written in the newspapers here in Finland. So sorry, guys. and there has been also, if typically if an autopsy is performed, often it's been from those samples taken during the autopsy years and years earlier. Um, earlier taken the samples, and then they've looked at, because it was suspicious, and later these samples were re-examined, knowing that it might be. And there was in Norway in 1976. There was a Norwegian man named Arvid, Agne Vidar Røe, who got contracted AIDS or HIV/AIDS. He was a truck driver and a sailor, and he was the first known person to have contracted HIV. Ah, shit. Come on. Just tell me if Liam, just tell me if it goes too bad, I guess. I think okay. I think there's an echo. Okay, is this any better? Is this any better? I just cannot understand where this echo comes from. I cannot understand. Okay, is there an... I think I'm... What? Is it any better now? I think I figured out what it might be. Any better? I would hope things get... weird. Really weird. Is it bad? Can you... Is it... Uh-huh. Excuse me. Is it okay now? I would assume with the thumbs up. With the thumbs up, I would assume it's all good now. Ah, yes, okay, good, because I think what I had here. Okay. if it gets any worse from now, just let me know in the chat. And by the way, thank you for being so active in the chat. I hope I'm good now. Okay. Okay. Anyway, this Norwegian guy, he still a bit unclear to me as whether or not it's he got it on his travels anyway. This who is in literature referred to as Arvid Darre No. So basically, he visited Africa twice. In first time in 1961 to 62, and then back then he went to Cameroon and contracted gonorrhea, and the second time he went there, he was there as a truck driver, and he was driving across mostly West Germany. He then fell ill. Starting from 68, he got joint pain, lymphedema, infections. And there was the same year, actually, American teenager presented the similar symptoms, and was later identified to be the first case in North America. And loss of motor control or difficulties, dementia, etc., connected with which are associated with dementia, etc., is also. But the catch is here. His wife got it too. His wife got HIV. Well, his husband, the guy, went to Africa, got gonorrhea and HIV. Came and then contracted his wife. He had 3 children. One was infected at birth. So 1 out of 3, he managed to infect his wife and 1 out of 3 kids. And this kid who was born was infected at birth. So, and their daughter died at the age of 8 of AIDS. And this 8-year-old girl was the first documented case of AIDS death outside of the US. The daughter died on January 4th, 76. The man died in April of 76. So I couldn't find when his wife died. What do we learn from here? Yes, and apparently getting this from what I wrote, he also infected at least several. This Norwegian guy infected his wife, youngest child, several prostitutes, and these several prostitutes went on to give the infect a number of others. So what do we learn from here, people? If you really have to have sex, if you want to have sex, have safe sex, okay? So you won't kill your entire family. Sorry. Anyway, so then we get, and then there's this, what is called the patient zero. Gaëtan Duga, a Quebecois flight attendant who is mistakenly identified as the patient zero, but that's bullshit. We all know that he is. So, and around 79-ish, Gaëtan became started frequenting in the New York and other cities' bathhouses. So, and then, but it wasn't just him. Others were being irresponsible as well. Then this is just curious and beyond belief that people could be so irrational, irresponsible. Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. Stuff like, but it still amazes me as to why people would be so irresponsible. And it was they first the anti or the retrovirus killing T cells, which HIV is like, was in isolated in Pasteur Institute in Paris by a French virologist, Françoise Barré-Sinoussi, or Sinous. And that from that on, the virologists knew how what they were actually looking for. And there have been these, as I mentioned, the Gaëtan Duga as the patient zero, but that would be in first case in the US, but this has been in that this is from there's a misinterpretation from a 1984 study that referred to him as patient O, where O stood for out of California. So that there's no biological or historical evidence that Duga would have been the primary case or a subtype B as a whole. No, there hasn't been, and I've heard that something along the lines of that gay people actually made the whole thing, which couldn't be further from the truth. And it's been blamed on gays so many times and on everyone. But this, as I said, the numbers are huge. the 50 the gay and bisexual men form a group of 55% of the entire US HIV positive uh, population, and that is one big reason is that discrimination in and this type of number applies elsewhere, of course, but there are more and more most modern day cases of most modern day cases are from heterosexual intercourse. Uh, Liam says general public prudishness has pushed closeted gay and bi men to desperate, stupid decisions on getting sex in some rather uh, in some seedy condition. Yes, and the lack of LGBTQ plus people are in the least vulnerable, are one of the least vulnerable, on in the are the one of the most vulnerable group groups of people there is, and so many lack access to healthcare, proper healthcare, access to these prep medicine there's preservatives, like if you, for example, if your partner is HIV positive but you aren't, you can take these prep pills. They are readily available given you live in a country that provides proper healthcare, which the US does not provide proper healthcare. Uh, I've heard American politicians say that there's no reason to provide clean water to everyone because clean water is a privilege, not a right. So if clean water people politicians think like that of clean water, how are you to provide uh, adequate healthcare to everyone at an affordable price? Liam says this goes for other STDs besides HIV as also. Yes, it's post-exposure prophylaxis is also is someone. Oh, Super Goes UK. I actually talked about you previously. I'm really really glad. Uh, but hey, Ghost, you don't have to say you're sorry for being late. I'm not. I'm not a dominatrix. Uh, running her own school. So anyway, it's and the safe sex and providing condoms are just so inexpensive, but many won't even. People need sex ed and free condoms, etc. And yeah, and my, I will not go. Um, yeah, Super Ghost LMAO. I know. Just being polite. Yeah, sure. You're a darling, man. Yeah. Uh, anyway, I will not go into any further into uh these kind of claims, but I just had to because this is so fun. Oh, not fun, but so ironic. Uh, this what's going on? Liam says people got lack daisiacal with the advent of antibiotics bringing diseases like syphilis, quote unquote, under control. Yes. Yeah. It's curious. People don't understand. Say, even when you say, this is a bacteria, antibacteria kills bacteria. But now this is a virus. The antibiotics do not kill viruses. Why do you take CCR5 delta 32 gene? That is the isn't that the gene that I'm not gonna say anything if I have it here in my notes. Hang on. Yes. Okay. Yes, that's what I thought. It's the HIV resistant variant. That is something that I have not covered, and I wasn't actually prepared for covering that. And don't go all Kent Hovind on me. Liam says general public was even more ignorant of that stuff back then, and they're really not really clued up even today. Yeah. I really hate these conspiracy nuts, but uh, where did I have it? That yeah, that the case, the or that it was that HIV would be somehow man-made. This is now a public services announcement. I renounce all these conspiracy theories. Okay, so where did I get? Yeah, that it was actually that that there is that HIV would have been allegedly developed as a as a biological weapon by the U.S. government. So you may ask why, where did this, and this is actually believed, this theory that it was developed by the U.S. government, that the HIV would have been created allegedly by the U.S. government as a biological weapon, and it's, as I understand it, it's very widely believed in the U.S. that this would actually have been the case. Who who do you think? Can I get in the chat guesses as to where this rumor originated? That it was a bioweb. That was a bioweapon. Where do you think, Liam Peters Ghost? Where do you think this claim originated? And this theory that is strongly believed by so many Americans. Where do you think it came from? Yeah, that it. Yes, they're saying that it escaped from a DARPA lab, etc. It's it's an interesting i- interesting concept. Uh, no, that is. Hang on, I'll get back to the comments in a moment. But this conspiracy theory was manufactured by the KGB, by the Soviet KGB. They made up this conspiracy theory that it was developed by the Americans as a bioweapon, and now Americans believe what what the KGB told them. So it was where do I have it? It was Operation Infection, made by it was codenamed that Operation Infection by the KGB's first chief directorate. So so there we go. Okay, that was the bit of fun. I refuse to go any further into the conspiracy theories. Okay, where do we have? Liam says, get had a guess that Daily Mail. No, it was not Daily Mail. It was KGB. Super Ghost. People are willing to believe anything as long as it fits with their narrative. A lot of these dangerous conspiracy theories have an anti-Semitic origin. How am I not surprised? Then it super ghost. It came from my dirty laundry. Lol. I don't even want to know. And Liam says KGBs are naughty boys. Um, okay, no surprise there. Then says pizza. Super ghost. Now I see why aliens never visit us. This planet can be so derpy sometimes. Derp, derp, derpity derp. Okay, maybe perhaps let's I'll get you derp derp. Okay, I'll get you derp derp. Uh, because I okay. Okay, where do we have it? The okay. Hey, sorry, had to cut. There was a copyright claim on the Derp Derp song that I played for a bit. Sorry for the inconvenience. Please, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe. Do it now. And here, oops, nope, here we are. Okay, here's my Patreon. Okay, here's my Patreon. Derp Derp. That's my. So there's my Patreon. Check it out. There's all kinds of wacky stuff. Okay, do the wacky stuff. Check the wacky stuff. Uh, I I would appreciate it. And I have a special offer. I got 5 tiers. 5 tiers. Check it out. I have a special offer here until October 22nd. Oops. Yes, you'll get the special offer is that you'll get a written note and a postcard from me on me if you go there and check everything. You get that. Uh, check the special offer, please do. Okay. Any check the links in the description box below. There are, as I said, Patreon, PayPal, playlists, email address, invitation links to the Discord servers. There are Hades Corner and LGBT plus safe space server. Please join both. Join there and join there. Yes. I hope you had all jolly good time. Jolly good time today. At least there are plenty of emojis on the. We have it. There we have it. Anyway, I hope you've been having fun. Okay, so today was the culture corner. It has to do with social culture, medicinal culture. This one, and socioeconomics. More than anything, it's socio-economical issue. Excuse me, there are sounds I hear from the background. Someone has entered. Excuse me. Okay, there is no extra people coming to steal my show. Okay, and then we shall go. Stefan will go. Stefan. Bertil are there as well. Okay, and so next week and this week, I say to be that Super Ghost UK asking, has Hailey been a bad girl? LOL. I'm never a bad girl. I'm always I'm an angel, as always. Anyway, this week Thursday, as usual, as a new usual. It's not every week that I will do it, but as often as I can. And also, Liam says we will probably never know. No, you won't. I will have the premiere Thursday. Video coming up on Thursday. It will be. Until then, it's a surprise. I'll reveal it the previous day at latest, and I'll see you on Friday for another episode of History with Heidi. Next week I will have to do for next week episodes. I will have to do recorded episodes. I'll do the recording for Monday and Friday, and maybe Thursday, premiere Thursday, because I'm starting at a new unit, and it takes some getting used to, so adjusting to the new unit. So that's why I'll push recorded episodes for next week. And without further ado, I say bye and see you next time.